Welcome to Breaking the News. After the election, the word on everybody's lips has been Johnson, not Boris. That place just outside Paisley. And that's where we are this week. I'm Des Clark, and this is Breaking the News, the show that breaks the week's news and asks four opinionated panellists to put it back together again. And this week, we are coming to you from Johnston Town Hall. It's raucous, I love it. So joining me are regular guest Jim Smith and comedian Athena Kugblenu, and facing them are stand-up Ashley Storey and actor, writer and funny man Alistair Barry. In the news this week, Hallmark Cards have apologised for pulling TV ads featuring same-sex couples. Written statements from the company said they were truly sorry, deepest sympathies, and happy birthday, Uncle. And Greta Thunberg has been blasted for posting a picture sitting on the floor of an overcrowded train as she was travelling first class. Though in her defence, she said she was avoiding a group of BAMs that had just got on at Paisley. You know we're in Johnston this week, don't you? There we go. The panel are in position. They're ready to go. So are our audience. Hopefully so are you. Let's crack on with round one. This is the Broken News round, where our teams have to guess two major stories of the week that have been mashed together into one single news headline. So, Ashley and Alistair, you first. Can you tell me our first story?
Boris Johnson will welcome
a second independence referendum
as Parliament returns following his election triumph.
Nicola Sturgeon cannot be imprisoned.
From tomorrow,
has to be done, says
the Queen.
Do it.
Oh, dystopian news. So, there was obviously a couple of stories in there. What do you think the first story is, Ashley?
I think it was about the election results. I don't know if you guys know, but there was an election.
Yeah, absolutely right. You've got it bang on. Prime Minister Boris Johnson has been welcoming more than 100 new Tory MPs to Westminster this week after his emphatic general election victory. A cabinet reshuffle is expected in the new year, when Johnson will bring in new ministers who support his true political agenda. Names being mentioned include Lord Voldemort, Darth Vader and the Supreme Dalek. Ashley, what about it? General thoughts then on the election?
I wasn't surprised, but I remember being on this show, and I think it was the first time I was on Breaking the News, and one of the funny questions was, imagine Boris was Prime Minister. Yeah. And everybody was like, oh, ha, 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 ha. And I remember saying at the time that it would be like the Hunger Games, because the Hunger Games started with a creepy blonde guy taking over, and then we all get separated into little chunks, and then we all have to fight for food. And back then, when I said that, I was quite upset and worried about it, but I've put on weight since then, so I'm quite looking forward to the Hunger Games.
But people have consistently been saying, was Corbyn the problem or was Brexit the problem? And I think it's not beyond the realms of possibility to say possibly both.
He looks like that one guy who turns up to a Zumba class. That's... Do you know what I mean? He's like that one man who shows up in his, like, Brazil outfit to do Zumba with the old woman. He's like a cool grandpa. It's weird.
It looks like a lost geography teacher, doesn't it? He's going to lead a revolution, and you think he's not going to lead a revolution. Maybe a failed field trip to an oxbow lake.
Athena, what about you? Were you surprised in any way by the election results?
Not at all. The minute Jeremy Corbyn said, I want a referendum, but I'm not going to decide whether I'm in or out, I was like, do you know anything? you decide on anything? I bet he's the person in Starbucks who doesn't know what he wants. That makes everybody angry. It was a real shame. If you can't decide whether you like the EU or not, then you can't run the country, because you've got to make a lot of decisions every day.
Yeah, it's a big job.
Yeah.
Jim, what about you? Were you surprised by the result, or did it go as you expected?
No, it was a bit of a shock. I mean, the map now looks like Maggie Simpson, doesn't it? Kind of blue at the bottom and yellow at the top. And
just some sort of nappy rash around the English cities.
obviously it's been a week of winners and losers. That's what elections produce. In terms of the losers, obviously Labour didn't do well. Wasn't a good night for the Lib Dems either. Jo Swinson lost her seat.
Oh, Nicola's in.
She went absolutely insane. That was a brilliant clip. She looked more excited than most of Scotland when Archie Gemmell scored against the in 1978.
What about it then? Obviously, we've got some vacancies in the top jobs, and there's some leadership roles out there. Jim, if you were to pitch yourself for a top leadership job, what would you say?
Oh, I'd bring back free neeps for kids in schools.
Free neeps.
Free neeps.
Okay.
Aye.
I like that. I don't remember the days of the free neeps. But maybe it was different where you went to school.
Aye.
And so this would be just turnips.
Turnips.
For everybody?
And, yes, free and good, wholesome Scottish local produce into the schools.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
So like Iron Brew.
Iron brew on tap, absolutely. Like in one of the fountains at the schools, you know. That'd be good.
I would relocate, definitely.
Yeah.
Athena, I'll come to you finally in this then. Obviously, we're looking for new leaders to emerge this week. If that was to be you, what would be your pitch?
It should be me because we've wasted our time talking about things like education, transport, health. These are not the important issues. Like, I'll talk about the real things. For example, when you buy a bag of crisps, there are fewer crisps in it than in like 1993.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'd fix that. And they're like, we don't talk about the really annoying things. You know what's annoying? When people who have iPhones leave their house without their chargers.
Yeah.
Like, don't borrow my charger. You knew it was going to last for 2 hours. And you want to come to my house and use my electricity. I would put a congestion charge on these people.
It was, of course, a disappointing result for the Lib Dems when Jo Swinson said her target was number 10. We didn't realise that's how many MPs she was aiming for. Poor Jo. Yeah, the Conservative general election victory is the right answer. Ashley and Alistair, you get 2 points for that. Now to you, Jim and Athena. What was the other story we were after?
Boris Johnson will welcome
A second independence referendum.
as Parliament returns following his election triumph.
Nicola Sturgeon cannot be imprisoned.
From tomorrow,
Has to be done, says
the Queen.
Do it.
It does feel like one news story this week, and it kind of is. So the second related part, what do we think? Any ideas, Jim?
Yes, we Nicola's written a letter to Boris. I think it's away today, actually. A letter, which was good because, you know, she needs to get in by Christmas. Stating that there's a big enough mandate for IndyRef 2.
Yep, that's certainly the follow-on from the election picture in Scotland, and it's the news that Scotland's First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon, is pursuing her claims for a further independence referendum after the SNP won 48 seats in the election. With that massive SNP victory, the electoral map of Scotland now shows a yellow wave bigger than the one in the baby pool at the time capsule.
I'm sorry to say this, Scotland, you had your chance. No, we need you because Andy Murray's hip is better. So you can't have another independence referendum. We need him to win a couple more Grand Slams, then do what you like, yeah? But he got better, guys. I'm sorry.
Honestly, typical English. They come up here, they steal our Grand Slams. I mean, it's all we've got is Andy.
You look at it from the point of view of Scottish independence. I mean, Britain used to rule the world. Not saying it's a good thing, but we did. We had a terrible habit of discovering other people's countries for them. And then we pulled back to call it the Commonwealth, which is the most hilarious juxtaposition of two words, common and wealth. Indigenous people all over the world going, does that mean we all get to share the profits? That'd be ridiculous, no? And now it looks very much as though Scotland is going to get independence. It should certainly democratically get the referendum on it. Ireland, I think, I mean, can you imagine being in the DUP right now, waking up afterwards going, how did we play that? Going, well, it wasn't great. Tomorrow we've got to buy a gay cake for a civil partnership, which is happening in a Catholic church next door to an abortion clinic in a united Ireland. I think we may have got something wrong here. So we're going to have a united Ireland. Scotland's going to go off on its own merry way. Wales will just float off into the Irish Sea, being a bit weird as usual. And England will consist of an angry public schoolboy digging a moat around himself in Kent.
Ashley's story, the election picture in Scotland, very different from how it played out in the rest of the UK. The SNP swept to 48 seats. Surprised by this?
I know that like my mum's really excited for Indie Ref 2. This is going to be she's really all in on it. And like Indie Ref 1, when people were like, Ashley, what are you voting in the independence referendum? I was like, I'm an adult and I live with my mum and dad. Independence has never really been high on my priority list. But I voted yes anyway because my mum said I'd have to move out if I didn't. So, independence.
For those that don't know, Ashley's mum is Nicola Sturgeon.
I think we should be talking about this one lonely Labour MP.
Yeah.
That's in the, like, I think this MP is so irrelevant, even I couldn't be bothered to Google their name. Like, I've got no idea who this person is. So I feel sorry for that guy. He has to be his own secret Santa, which is really sad.
Oh, yeah. So obviously it's been a massive week, etc. It was a first day for lots of new MPs this week, which can be tricky. First day in any new job. How would you go about making an impression?
First day in a job.
Yeah.
I quite like the fact you're asking a panel of comedians that. None of us have ever had a proper job, with the possible exception of Jim, who actually does have a proper job, where the one thing to do is not kill anything.
Jim's job is not to kill anything until you're getting paid to kill them.
Jim, do you kill the animals?
No, I said.
I'm just going to...
Jim,
I'm just...
I thought they were your friends, Jim.
Yeah,
I'm going to drink and let him answer this one, right? Tell us about the slaughter.
Ted Bundy, a sheep over there.
Jim, it's a necessary part of your job.
It is.
The rest you do for fun.
Yes.
In Scotland, Labour lost 6 of their 7 MPs and almost a third of their voters. One commentator described them as a pale imitation of a Scottish party, much like Jules Holland's Hootenanny. Well done to you, Jim and Athena. You get 2 points for that. It was the mashup of the general election result on both sides of the border. And at the end of that round, the teams are all square.
Hey.
Now, so much of our news is about public opinion. So for this round, we've gone out and about on the streets of Johnston and found some people to comment on the news. So, Jim and Athena, for your team, we caught up with Charlene and John at the local boxing gym. What story do you think they're on about here?
Everybody you seem to meet in the pub is one of these.
It can be a talking point depending on what it is and where it is.
It used to be like biker territory, big grannies, young people. Everybody has these now. I done it myself when I was steaming, when I was 15-year-old.
I have a couple that were actually dares, so there's different reasons behind them.
Any ideas from what they were saying, what they might be talking about, Jim?
I think there was a survey said that Glasgow is the #1 place for tattoos. Is that right?
Absolutely right, yes. It is the news that Glasgow is the tattoo capital of the UK, as research reveals the city has no less than 37 tattoo parlours. Jim, would you get a tattoo?
No, I'm not really into any of that, or body piercing or anything like that. I'd maybe get a best before date or something put on me. In my home address or something, in case I got steaming one night, they'd know where to put me.
I was reading about this because Edinburgh must be furious because it's considered that it has the tattoo leading capital of the world. There's going to be some very disappointed American tourists turning up when they read that news in the middle of Glasgow going, is this where we get the tattoo? And going, hey, come on in.
I love this. I love the fact I did not think about that. Edinburgh, the most famous tattoo in the world, and now it's Glasgow. All we need to get is a fringe, and we have one.
You see, I mean, if you've got the right body for, I mean, you've seen these big models. There was one guy on the internet. He was quite well endowed, so he got the rest of his body. No, he just got an elephant's face put on, so it made it look like the trunk. His willy was like the trunk. So my mate saw this and he thought he was well endowed, so he got the same, but he just looked like Alf.
You get all kinds.
Sorry. I've got a tattoo. What I got was my heartbeat with my initials in the middle. Because I thought, you know, if you're going to get a tattoo, at least be totally wanky.
If Boris did that, it'd be like a straight line.
Yeah, just nothing, right?
Yeah.
What about you, Ashley? Are you a fan of a tattoo?
I have not got any tattoos because my mother would hit me, but I love a man with a tattoo. Like, I think it's banging hot. Like, see that guy Post Malone, the rapper, who's got like tattoos all over his face, like, and he's got Always Sleepy under his eyes, and he's got a tree on his neck. I'd love to like sit in his chest and colour him in like an anxiety colouring book. Oh, that would be a good Saturday.
Why do you think Glasgow has become the capital for tattoos?
Because Glasgow's the capital of hipster douchebags with little man buns who are walking around with weird, sad stories like, yeah, this is a picture of my heartbeat.
Brilliant.
I loved that. That was great. Obviously, the problem with tattoos is that people often regret them. I personally now am very much regretting mine. What about you, Jim? Have you got anything you regret?
Yes, I was once on a topical news quiz and I revealed to everyone that I Google Big Elephant Willie.
I wouldn't worry about it. There was a bit afterwards where another guy revealed he had a heartbeat tattoo. According to a tattoo removal service in Glasgow, the most embarrassing tattoo they had to remove was on a woman, who we won't name, from Eastern Bartonshire, that said British Prime Minister 2019. Sorry, Joe. At least it's not a heartbeat with your initials. Tattoos, of course, is the correct answer, and 2 points go to Jim and Athena. Right, to you, Ashley and Alistair, here's local dog groomers Kelly and Maureen. What are Kelly and Maureen talking about here?
I think it's something that you can take with a pinch of salt.
I'm really surprised that it's worth so much money. I didn't think it would be. If it's on an app, I don't know how accurate that could be.
I have related to them, yes, because I can be quite stubborn.
I believe mine is quite artistic.
It's not the prettiest one, it has to be said. It's just a big lump of an animal.
A fish?
I think this is a story this week. There's been, and it's to do with how much money there is in astrology at the moment. Astrology's gone like technical, which is weird because, let's face it, it's not actually based in anything technical whatsoever. I personally am a Libran, which makes me very balanced. So I can say that diplomatically and with a very even-handed approach, it is the biggest load of bull since Hercules cleaned out the Augean stables, and at least Hercules existed as he was played in a movie by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in a cinema near you soon.
Is the right answer. Well done. Alistair has nailed it. Yes, it is the news that astrology apps are becoming big business and are now estimated to be worth a massive £2 billion. And if you don't believe that, you're probably a Scorpio. What about you, Ashley, then? Are you into this? Are you surprised that it's such huge business?
I looked up my horoscope, right, because I'm an Aries, and apparently that means that I'm passionate, motivated, confident, with a cheerful disposition. Passionate, no, I'm cold and I don't like being touched. Motivated, I'm the laziest person in the world. I like got bed sores just from like playing PlayStation. Confident, riddled with self-doubt, and a cheerful disposition. I have cried 3 times today. One was because I saw a puppy that wasn't mine. So...
What about you, Athena? First of all, are you surprised to find that there's such big business in horoscopes?
Absolutely not, because we need something to blame for everything, right? So we don't want to blame ourselves or take responsibility, so we just blame the apps. Personally, I believe in them because I've got the best star sign. I am a Scorpio. So when you're a Scorpio, you want to believe in star signs because Scorpios are vengeful, angry, bitter, violent. So it's like I can go to court and get away with anything because I'm a Scorpio. Sorry, Your Honour, I was born in November.
Jim, what about you? Are you into your horoscopes?
No, really, no.
You don't read them?
It
I
must
always worry about you if you read one and it says you will find love at work. I'm like, horoscopes is the correct answer, and 2 points go to Ashley and Alistair. This round is all about who's in the news. I'll play you a clip of a mystery person. All you have to do is tell me who it is. So, Ashley and Alistair, you're up first this time. Just tell me, who is this?
In layman's terms, it is kind of... It does look similar in that sense and sound similar in that sense, but it's so different. Like, it's so far away from hip-hop that they're two completely different genres.
It is Stormzy, who is one of Britain's greatest grime artists, and he was in the news this week because his teacher phoned him up on the radio, and it was very cute, and it was very sweet.
Very cute, very sweet, and it's the right answer. Getting a bit of grime, Jim?
Aye, but I'll get the steam cleaner out and that's...
For those that listened, obviously, the phone call between Stormzy and his old teacher was lovely and quite emotional, actually. What's been your most memorable phone call, Jim? Any that stand out for you?
Yes, it turns out it was in an accident. That wasn't my fault.
Ashley, what about you in terms of phone calls? What's been your most memorable?
Not really a phone call, but my mum went missing last week, and I was texting her, and I usually keep her on Find Friends so I can stalk her and see what she's doing, because I secretly hope she'll cheat on my dad, and I'll be the first to discover it, and it'll be a drama. But, I was like, Mum, where are you? Mum, where are you? And she just texts back, I'm in a dog cage. And I was like, oh my God. And then I was panicking. I was like, Mum. And she was like, oh, sorry, I meant a dog cafe.
Yeah, it's all about Stormzy, whose old school teacher had concerns over his spelling but was delighted to see him succeed. Similarly, an old teacher of local boy to here, Gordon Ramsay, said she used to worry about his future as he kept jumping into the school canteen and swearing at the dinner ladies. Did all right. Yes, 2 points to Ashley and Alistair. That was UK grime artist Stormzy. Right, Jim and Athena, it's your turn now. Who is this and why are they in the news?
I couldn't believe it. I was in disbelief what I'd just done. I mean, now looking back at it, I'm so proud of myself, like, but I'm still lost for words how I felt.
Any thoughts?
I think this is a woman who won a game of darts at the PDC Championships. Her name's Fallon Sherrock. Yeah, absolute legend.
It is the news, indeed, that Fallon Sherrock made history this week as she became the first female to win a match at the PDC Darts World Championship. Love it. After a win, Fallon Sherrock celebrated with champagne, wine and a large gin because, as any darts player knows, you've always got to finish in a double. That's the rules. Well done, Fallon. Managed to watch the match. I was actually watching it live. I don't know if you've seen any clips of it or did you actually see it at the time?
I just read about it afterwards and I was amazed because I've always been confused that darts is a gendered thing because, like, it's just throwing and drinking and counting, right? And I'm amazing at two of those things.
What about you, Ashley? Did you manage to see Fallon Sherrock in action?
What an absolute legend. First of all, she looked great. Second of all, her name's Fallon Sherrock. She should change her name to Falcon She-Rocks. I think it's exciting. It's fresh blood in it.
Yeah.
She's got a funky shirt. The guy's got a funky tiger shirt. I like the costumes at the darts mainly.
They do go for it, don't they?
I like to see who gapes at the buttons, because usually that's just women that happens to, and it's nice to see a man struggling with his boob gape, so...
First time I played darts, I did hit the bullseye.
All right.
You know, and now that bull was going around the field winking all the time. That's how he's got all the cows pregnant.
But here's the thing, obviously darts back in the news, etc. It's great for Fallon Sherrock to do this, great for women, great for darts as well. But it's one of those activities that became a pub game and then a very big international sport. Jim, any ideas, an activity we could turn into a sport?
You see that one where they let the bull down the street and everyone's running and having a great time? But they don't like that in Scotland. My bull escaped down Perth and honestly, I got... No one was happy and I got a £1,000 fine.
Yes, Fallon Sherrock is the right answer. 2 points go to Jim and Athena. And it's time now for our final quick-fire round, which is all about deciphering the numbers in the news. I'll read out the headline. All the teams have to do is fill in the blanks. So get ready, teams. When we run out of time, you'll hear this.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried.
That is Donald Trump there, the leader of the free world, and free is something he might not be in a while. There we go. Here we go, teams. Let's do this. Fingers on buzzers. Here we go. What is the most likely thing to happen at 2:13 p.m. on Christmas Day?
The turkey wakes up and goes, "I'm not dead, I'm not dead," and runs off the table.
That'd be the best moment, wouldn't it? What is the most likely thing to happen at 2:13 p.m. on Christmas Day?
Boris Johnson remembers how many children he was supposed to buy presents for.
Oh, that so should be the right answer. So what is most likely to happen at 2:13 p.m. on Christmas Day? The answer is this: single people get so sick of questions about their relationship status that they decide they want to leave the house. A man who shouted what 847 times has admitted defeat.
Oh, Jeremy.
These are great. A man who shouted what 847 times has admitted defeat.
Hey, there's no euro! There's no euro!
Please make that the right answer. Oh, it's not. A man who shouted what 847 times has admitted defeat.
I will never get beaten at darts by a woman.
A brilliant answer. I can give you the right answer. A man who shouted "Stop Brexit" 847 times has admitted defeat. There you go.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried.
And there is the klaxon. That means that Donald has trumped. And at the end of the quiz, our winners this week are Jim Smith and Athena Cook-Blaney. And commiserations go to Ashley Storey and Alistair Barry. And we'll leave you with the breaking the news. Breaking news just in. A guitar belonging to Status Quo's Francis Rossi has sold at auction for nearly £120,000. The purchaser said it's a lot of money, but a small price to pay to keep him from playing it. And a bakery in Norwich is creeping customers out with a bizarre loaf of bread, which is made using more than 300 dead crickets. Whilst it's not to everybody's taste, you should see how high it jumps when it pops out of the toaster. The news is broken. I've been Des Clark. Goodbye.
Has that left you wanting a little more? Then don't miss the Breaking the News podcast that is available now on BBC Sounds. And it's Friday now, which can only mean one thing. We're off in the sesh and looking at the state of it next here on BBC Scotland.